Mojang just killed $1 million worth of Minecraft accounts, and they're coming for you next. Maybe. This is an insane situation that's come up over the last 2 months, involving tens of millions of players, so if you're as concerned as I am, stay for a bit and let me explain. Oh, and obviously subscribe for more bangers. So first off, we're taking it back to March when Mojang went to war with the rarest usernames in the game. I won't go into too much detail, but there's a very small percentage of the Minecraft population with special, valuable usernames that normally aren't allowed. For example, they could be really short one-letter names, or names with invalid characters like the $, or duplicate accounts where 2 or more players have the same name. For years now, Mojang has been at war with the Minecraft community over these names. It all started on March 2nd of 2020 when, out of nowhere, Mojang just started clearing these invalid names from the top of the alphabet until just 7 names later, it was already over, until 2 months later. After a username glitch found by some friends of mine was leaked, Mojang not only undid all the damage, but killed all 24 usernames with spaces, along with an account with exclamation marks and the famous $. Account. Then Mojang shifted their aim to dupes, killing 50 of them in December 2020, and when another glitch was found for these names, 13 more. And then, over the course of the last year or so, Mojang has purged these accounts again and again. A few dupe accounts here, a few invalids there, until the numbers were dangerously low, and on March 23rd, they stopped trying to be subtle. Mojang killed every single one. But you might have a question. How did we even find these insane accounts? I mean, it's not like you see them around every day. The history behind these accounts is decades long, with thousands of players involved researching everything from the API to cybersecurity and more. But if you want to get into researching and tinkering with code like we've been doing, a really great place to start is Brilliant, today's sponsor for the video. Brilliant is easily the best way to learn math, computer science, everything, because you can pick exactly what you want to learn about. There are thousands of lessons on everything from AI, like I experimented with a few months back, to programming or search engines, with more added every month. And you don't have to feel intimidated by big words or long lessons, because learning with Brilliant is super easy. The lessons are short, simple, and start at the basics, so you can learn at any time, and the professionals at Brilliant will help you build and hone your skills so that you'll be working on everything faster, better, and easier, even if you haven't gotten around to a lesson on it just yet. But if you are looking for something a little more challenging, Brilliant also has a big selection of advanced, hands-on lessons that still manage to be fun and interesting. Beginners, professionals, and everyone in between is gonna find something for them on Brilliant. So if you want to try everything Brilliant has to offer, go to brilliant.org/MCBYT or click the link in the description to start a 30-day free trial. If it's not your thing, cancel anytime. But if you're enjoying yourself, and I know you will be, the first 200 of you will get a 20% discount on a subscription for the year. That's a lot of learning for a little money. Thanks again to Brilliant for sponsoring the video, and now back to the content, because it's time for a quick history lesson. We'll start with the duplicates, because this is truly tragic. Even through all the purges we've had recently and everything that's been lost in the past, we still had a couple hundred of these sitting around, a few of which were active players, and those are just the ones we know about. But you know, having fun is a crime, and since Mojang deleting these accounts for no reason would literally be a crime, or at least so we thought, more about that later, they did the next best thing, which is getting rid of anything unique or interesting about them because of a petty grudge or something, we don't even know. These dupes alone would have been worth a fortune. Seriously, there were at least 224 of them, and they've been sold in the past for at least 4,000 apiece, which comes out to 896,000 minimum. Factor in the ones we haven't found and you're into the millions. But more important than their value was just how cool they were. I mean, seriously, imagine bumping into an account like Next or Now in-game. Such short, clean names are already hard to come by, but 2 of them with the same name? That's practically unheard of. And Mojang took that from us. And then when they had picked off every last duplicate, they moved on to the invalids, which hurt even more. If you've watched my channel before, you know I love invalid accounts. I've made video after video after video explaining what they are, documenting their history, talking about the glitches that created them, everything. I mean, these are some of the oldest accounts in the game. There are screenshots from as far back as 2009 showing these things off. And without a second thought, Mojang destroyed them all. It was bad enough they killed the spaces, the $, and that awesomeness account a while back, but this was just heartbreaking. Dots, dashes, smiley faces. They were all gone, all dead just because somebody felt like it. But why? Well, that's what we aren't really sure about. A long time ago, invalids and duplicates were involved in a few glitches and exploits in multiplayer, but it's been years, and those problems have all been fixed. The community has adapted to them, gotten used to them, and begun to support them on most servers. This whole thing is completely pointless, but unfortunately, it looks like this isn't the end of Mojang's purges, and next time, it's not just cool usernames getting hit, it's the entire Minecraft community. But why? Well, it all has something to do with a little thing we call migration. You've probably heard that word about 1,000 times in the last few years if you've been actively playing Minecraft. But if you were pulling a Patrick Star and living under a rock, I'll explain very quickly. Microsoft bought Minecraft a long time ago, but they haven't done a lot of Microsoft-related stuff until 2020, where they decided that every Minecraft player would be required to link their accounts to Microsoft if they wanted to keep playing, probably for data collection or something else they can make money off of, who knows. But even after the initial deadline and unmigrated accounts lost access to the game, you could always just migrate whenever you wanted to get back in. But very soon, that's going to change. September 19th, 2023. That will be the end of the line for millions of Minecraft players, because if you do not migrate by that date, you are not just losing access for a bit, your account will be deleted. No second chances, no yelling at support to play again, that's it. But you might have a question, and a very valid one. Is this even legal? After all, those players paid for the game and it's now being taken away from them. And the answer to your question is no, actually, I don't think it is. I'm no lawyer by any means, and please, if somebody more experienced than me could comment on this, that would be greatly appreciated. But essentially, even though you don't physically own Minecraft, only a license to play it, the only way that it could be legal to take that license away is if you break the Mojang terms of service. Now, migration isn't included in the terms of service, so you might think you're safe and that this is fully illegal, but Mojang put a catch-all right here at the bottom, which basically says, we do what we want, deal with it, nerd. Surprisingly, these types of things are usually legally enforceable, which is why a lot of the time, if you ever take a look at the terms of service for any game or website you use, they'll say something like, we're not responsible for anything and you can't sue us. That actually works a lot of the time, shockingly. But for Mojang, I don't think it will, because they made one huge mistake. They didn't always have that in the terms of service. Until October of 2015, there was no section about being able to delete your account, and there wasn't anything about not allowing lawsuits either. So, if I'm right here, that means that any of you that registered before October of 2015, which is still over 10 million people, never agreed to this new TOS, probably didn't know it existed, and thus can't legally have your accounts taken away. That's not to say Mojang won't do it, they definitely will, but I'd be shocked if they didn't end up in a class action lawsuit or something similar as a result. Until we know for sure though, migrating your account is the best course of action, so let me give you a little how-to. You can start by going to minecraft.net, where you log into your account. If you have a Mojang account, which most of you do, use your email and your password. If you have a legacy account from back in the good old days, use your username instead of your email. Once you're logged in, you'll see this big pop-up saying it's time to move, and once you click that little button, it's all pretty straightforward. You'll get a code in your email for verification, then you'll log into a Microsoft account or make one if you don't have one already, set up your Xbox profile, and then once you click complete, you're all done. It's not a really complicated process, it's just unnecessary and annoying. After all, this is Microsoft we're dealing with here, what did you expect? But that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, thank you to the Patreon boys for the support, subscribe for more, you know the drill, and have yourselves a very good one. Peace, peace.